Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Kukulanda, Radha Kukulanda Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Hanuman, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. So, thank you for joining in. That's very nice. Now, so tonight we're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Very nice statement. I've read several, or maybe 2 or 3 Bhagavad Gitas in my time. There were different types of Bhagavad Gita. But when I came across Bhagavad Gita as it is, it meant a lot to me. Because I came to hear this thing of Krishna, this word Krishna. And it really started my things. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I heard this at the time. It was in the 60s. And I was very attracted. So then I was given a Bhagavad Gita by a Srila Prabhupada disciple when I was on the Isle of Wight. And he was just visiting. And he gave me an astrology chart, I remember. And it was very accurate. Because he was interested, he did this talk on Bhakti Yoga and Vedic astrology. So when I got to get this Bhagavad Gita, I thought, oh, so this is where Krishna comes from. And of course, they say that because Krishna's mentioned so many times in here, it purifies us just by hearing this name, Krishna, all the time. So we're on chapter 14, and we're doing text, I think, 13 tonight. Yes. So now what I'd like to do, so text 13, I want to bring in the descriptions of texts 11 and 12, just for a lead into it. So text 11 says, the manifestation of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. And this, very interesting. It says 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 mouths, the genitals and anus. It talks about all parts of the body. So when these are developed in goodness, it says that it's part of our what we do in our life. We've been regulated in cleaning our body, looking after our body, and this is, we feel different after a shower. And likewise, in the medical profession, they have to do similar things. Very interesting, that. And so then in 12 it says, O chief of the Bharat, when there's an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activities, and intense endeavour, an uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. Sounds like me in my teenagerhood, actually. I was certainly a bit of a passionate individual. I like rugby, and I joined the team of our local firm, and I was very much in the mode of passion, just playing rugby. But I was no good at football. I didn't have the trickiness and the change of direction. So it suited just, get stuck in action. And I used to also like to lead the pack, the scrum. And that was a very interesting time of my life. But the only thing is, it took me into drinking and sharing my rugby life in all those sorts of, as Prabhupada says, unmentionable things, and you could say it's the games that people play when they're in the mode of passion. Rugby, football, and hockey, ice hockey. You see it throughout the world. It's very aggressive and in the mode of passion. And so intense desire and an endeavour. And I was very intense, and I had hankering developed, hankering for, I suppose, a pride. I wanted to, I wanted people to notice me, because I was very unsure of myself, especially when I was bullied as a youngster. I was tall and big in those days, but I was bullied. And so I got bullied. And then, I started to drink beer. And I didn't like the taste, but I acquired the taste afterwards because it was a social thing. And then we come here to tonight's verse. Now, if you could repeat after me. I don't know if it's up on the board, is it now? Aprakasho pravritischa pramado. Yeah, have you got that? Is it on there? Yes. Yeah, oh good, okay. So, aprakasho pravritascha pramado moha evacha. So if you repeat after me. Yeah? Tamasa etana jayate vivridhe kuru nandana. Actually, I get better feedback, actually. When I do it again, I'll go through again. Aprakaso pravaritos cha. Pramado moha evacha. Tamasyentane jayate. Vivide kuru nandana. So you have to repeat the word for word translation. This is text 13. Apraksasaha, darkness. Apravriti, inactivity. Cha, and pramadaha, madness. Moha, illusion. Eva, certainly. Cha, also. Tamasi, the mode of ignorance. Itani, these jayante are manifested. Viridhe, when developed. Kuru Nandana, O son of Kuru. Of course, I don't know if you saw the play last night. Any of you see it at all? Yeah, it was amazing. Arjun, he's the son of the Kurus. And it was a wonderful a reflection on this. O son of Kuru, darkness, madness, and illusion are manifested. Well, we saw that in the dice game last night. You know, those players, incredible. And it really took my breath away, the way they were flinging themselves back in the cage, on the stage. In the cage, yeah, in the cage, probably in the cage of their illusion. That was manifested. You know, Dhritarashtra, he was blind to others. You know, except his selfish interests. He was he only got that throne through just. His disbelief succession, you know, it was passed on to him. But he was a blind king, blind to the family illusion. It says in the purport, when there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. One in the mode of ignorance does not work by a regulative principle. He wants to act whimsically for no purpose, even though he has the capacity to work. He makes no endeavor. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. There are symptoms. These are the symptoms of the one in the mode of ignorance. So, again, referring to that play, you know, we saw very much what Arjun was up against, and the Pandavas, they were humiliated in this dice game. But we'll find out what happens in the next part, because there's a wonderful section where Draupadi, she speaks to Arjun in particular. Oh no, sorry, King Yudhisthira in particular. And she said, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you do anything? And then he goes and explains that actually there's something else behind this. He knew somehow, though they were defeated in these dice games, that something good would come out of it. That, and he goes on to describe to Draupadi that actually you have to be patient. You have to see what comes out of this, because actually Krishna was behind it. They were going to have a battle. It was a scheme to destroy all those demons that were in the world, that were brought together by Duryodhana and his father, Dhritarashtra. So it was a scheme. But somehow or other, Krishna, he says, he came to destroy, annihilate the miscreants and to save the devotees. And so it was Krishna's scheme. He had to somehow, that this great battle that took place, the greatest ever in the history, took place. So, and you could see how whimsically means, I do what I want. I just feel like it. Duryodhana, I remember, he said, he was asked, why you've got everything? His mother actually asked him, you've got everything, why do you want more? And he says, because I want to see them suffer. And that's a really evil person. He's envious. Envy brings hatred. Yeah. And unfortunately, for him, actually, he ended up being defeated by Bhishma Dev by so-called illegal means. And so here, that it says here, they were in illusion. Although consciousness was going on, that life was inactive. The good side was no longer there, as it said in this previous verse, that increase of the mode of passion leads to great attachment and fruitive activity. They wanted the kingdom, intense endeavor, uncontrollable desire, and hungering. They were certainly out of control. But it came into being that they were defeated. So now, also whimsical. In our service, some people, they say, oh, I don't like this service. It doesn't suit me. I remember at the time when I was in so-called temple commander, but you find out actually you're not a temple commander, you're a temple servant in the end, as Damodar Prabhu has. He's serving everybody in whatever way he can, either through the Sankirtan mission and getting the books together. And so he's fortunate with his endeavor. It's an endeavor that is positive. And illusion, I was in illusion when I first came here as so-called temple commander. In the course of my job, I was a planning engineer. I got to know it, organize things, buy things, but it suited my nature. It was in the mode of passion. But what I liked to do was also seek others' advice, how to do things. As somebody who's actually on the shop floor, as we call it, because it was a fitting engineering firm, I would go and seek their advice. So it was to produce the best job that could be done. But that was very helpful to me when I came here to Bhaktivedanta Manor. And certainly after the marriage broke up, I was one of those who came to Krishna consciousness and spiritual life in distress. And so many things happened in that time. You know, I had children, very young children, and it was distress all the time. And but now, actually, in a way, that split brought myself and my children even in greater closeness, somehow or other, that we got closer because I had to see them, visit them, and wherever I was staying, they would come and I would cook for them. And so I had to learn to cook at that time. You know, so, but actually my ex-wife at that time, she always was interested in cows, and she got me interested in vegetarianism at that time, so that was a good thing. But eventually, my passionate life in rugby, ignoring her, you know, these sort of things, disregarding her, led to a marriage breakdown. But actually, I came to realize that maybe I wasn't such a good person, and I had to learn the lesson of the life of hard knocks. And so I had to change my life. And I want to just repeat something that Prabhupada says on this cover here. He says, "You are all limbs of my body. Unless you cooperate, my life will be useless." And that's beautiful, isn't it? It says that all of us, we have to cooperate with each other in whatever way we can. And Prabhupada, he was an incredible person, because in India there were certain functions that could be done by only men. But he changed all that. He changed all that. Somehow or other, we're here now on Be a Monk Challenge, men and women, lots of them coming, and they're getting a taste of spiritual life, and they're being limbs, and they're buying books. You know, especially in this time of the Christmas marathon, I'm just doing my best as I can in this incomplete body, as they say. So I try but I'm trying to use my limbs so they're not useless. So whatever time it comes. And there's another thing, if I can find it. I know where. It says, it's from Bhaktivedanta Swami. But I'll tell you what it says. It says, think of the person you best love. And he said, and treat everyone in that same love. In other words, that treat everyone with all due respect. Give them that shared love. And likewise, man or woman, whoever we are, that we try to share equally the burden of being a monk. That's really interesting, you know, because they don't call them monkess, they call them monks, you know, but it's a Be a Monk challenge. It's to experience the spiritual life. So when we come to this Bhagavad Gita here, now Keshava Maharaj, he produced this little book when he was called Sutapa, and it's the short summary of Bhagavad Gita as it is. And I'll just read you something which pertains to the verses we're speaking on today. And I've just found that quote by Bhaktivedanta Swami. it says, think of a person you love most and aspire to treat everyone with that same quality of love. And that's got many dimensions to it, because we're all part and parcel of Krishna. Irrespective of whether we don't get on, somehow or other, we should see, and that should be a reflection of our love, as everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. And certainly, there's in the Bhagavad Gita 4:34, and that it says, just try to learn the truth from a spiritual master. Learn from him. For the great souls, they've realized this knowledge, for they have seen the truth. Then it goes on to say, for having learnt this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, and they belong to me. So, having said that, this Bhagavad Gita is something that brings all creatures together, whether they be an ant, a dog eater, as they say, and a stool eater. But actually, they're all parts and parcels. And it's said that even all these creatures in Vrindavan that live in those, it's a dog. They're born in Vrindavan. Their next life, they'll get a body, a human body. So it's a progression, because such is the powerful effect of the Dham. And certainly, but we still don't allow dogs and cats in our temple. Why? Because they can't help themselves. That's their nature. They have to do unmentionable things inside the temple. I remember you used to do that. We used to have a pest infection of mice and everything, and they tried to bring a cat in, and it was a nightmare, because I used to have to clear up all this stool that they left behind. That was in my job of the temple commander at that time. So there were all sorts of things happening in those days. So, but though my life, and I remember as a youngster, I liked Jesus, so I used to follow Jesus as a youngster, and I loved all that. But gradually I changed and became a teenager, and then went into the life of passion, of rugby, ignorance. It changed my life. But whatever changed my life, it was for the good. And that's the way I see my life now. Certainly with what's happening to my body. There's certain things you endure, but it's worth it, because I learn from all these things. So again, back to the verse, which is text 30, and it says pramada, madness. And this was Duryodhana. He was mad for power, envious, and you could say he lost the plot. That's a saying too nowadays, that he wasn't interested in anybody else but his own selfish motives, and the madness and illusion that they manifested in this dice match. And we saw that when they showed it on the stage. But what was an amazing thing is how these persons were flinging themselves about on the stage. You know, the youth, you know, and there's what goes on. It says, although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. And there's no doubt about it in envy, that if you envy somebody, that stops your spiritual life. And it says that that's a mode of ignorance. You know, they don't know, they don't shower, They don't clean themselves. They didn't clean themselves, and so and they say cleanliness is next to godliness. So these are symptoms of the mode of ignorance. And he says, Kuru Nandana, son of Kuru. The Kurus that they were part of the Kurus, but somehow or other he was the son of the favourite of Kurus, Arjuna, but he had to go through the process of this whole Bhagavad Gita, which we can say surrender. And he eventually surrendered because he didn't know what to do. He was bewildered by his attachment to family, friends. And that's the thing, we can be attached, but our relationships in Krishna consciousness together, we should use them in a way of service. And that's one thing that it says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yad karoshi yadasi, yad didosi dadasi, yad tapasya kunteya, mad karushva madapanam. It says, whatever you do, whatever you performance of charity you perform, difficulties and activities, you just do them for me. And certainly, and that's the way we have to treat our lives. Whatever we do, it has to be treated knowing that we look after this house. Our house, I don't know if it is for you, but certainly if you treat it as a temple, your washing up will always be done on time. It won't be left. You'll be a tidy person. You'll be looking. And so you won't be in the mode of ignorance when things are left dirty, hanging about. We must come away from this. And so we should carry on. We don't want to have these symptoms of ignorance. And here we are with Bhagavad Gita as it is. And this is the time of the marathon. So if you haven't got a Bhagavad Gita, please obtain one from the reception, and it changed my life, and it'll change your life. So, but it's always said, I was advised, it's quite a book to read, so many things. I was advised to read just the text that Prabhupada said, to get the theme, the story behind it. And so here we have the three modes of material natures: goodness, passion and ignorance. They call them the ropes that bind us. But also in the mode of goodness, it says we can become proud. Pride comes before a fall, they say. So it may be that you're a good person, you do good things, you're a scientist, artist, or whatever it is. But somehow, if it can be used in service to Krishna, it will be the best service. It's and when I was on the Isle of Wight, we used to have a little Namahat, and certainly it was a very interesting thing. At one time there were about 11 people there, used to come along, and they started hearing this Hare Krishna, and they started to join, and they came here to experience the manor. And then they started to offering their food to Krishna. Certainly, when I took up offering my foodstuffs to Krishna, it was such a great experience. My life had a purpose. And certainly, like now, they're offering. We can't see it. But what we used to do, I was taught that while your offering's on, you read part of Prabhupada's book. to him, because the offerings used to be through Prabhupada. And then while you do that, the offering for about 5 minutes is then complete. And then you just take it, you offer it, you take it, and you give it to Krishna. And you pass it on, you share it with all the people in the Namaha. I used to cook for them as well. And that was very intense for me. It was a lot of things to do, but it was worth it. It was a great time for me. Just this Krishna consciousness. And Kripa Moya, Prabhu, I don't know if you know Kripa Moya, do you? Any of you? Yeah. He was the first senior devotee to come and visit me, and he, with his brahmacharis, Devaprastha, Puru, they would come down and sing to our Namahat, and I used to try and cook for them vegetarian food, and they would help me, they would show me how to cook. Guru Chanapadme and Kripa Moya, they showed me their house, and it was a wonderful time to take me out of my mode of ignorance that I was in and try and be clean, that the kitchens have a certain section for the deities that you look after, the deities here and look there. Guru Chanapana showed me all these kitchen skills. Of course, she was a wonderful teacher to the children here. She was the headmistress, and she was she used to go on Sankirtan, and she did a wonderful lecture here. Actually, she was almost in tears when she was recollecting it, the beautiful experiences that she had on Sankirtan, and just to encourage people to go into the Sankirtan, and that really touched my heart. So, Guru Chanapadme, Kripa Moya Prabhu Ki Jai. And that was interesting, because we sing this song, Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati, and she was an emblem of that. She was an acharya in this Sankirtan movement, and so she shared her experiences with us. So now, what I'd like to do is, well, the offering's on now, and we can, if anybody's got anything to say or tell me any experiences that they've had, whether so-called good or ask anything, an inquiry, and certainly I'll try and help, just because of my age now. I've been through the mill, as they say, and there's maybe something I can speak on that will assist anybody. Is there anything a comment? Especially the new people here. Tell me, is there something that you want to share or your experience? Anybody at all? No? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, so be it. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava. So you repeat after me. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Kivadadhari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Kivadadhari. Yasodhanandana Brajadara Ranjana. Shodanandana Brajajadaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Muna Tira Vanachare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And it's just come to my mind. I forgot to say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So if you could say it after me, just to help me out, that I haven't said it. Repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And thank you for helping me in my dilemma. Anyway, so very soon, in about a quarter of an hour, we'll just clear up now and get ready for this. Back when the Gaurarti. So if anybody like to help out there and come in, see what's out in the reception over from the prasadam in the ashrams. Thank you. Oh, that's mine. Okay. And personal ones. Okay, and the gloves are mine. Okay, yes, have you passed them to me? That'd be great. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank you for your help. It's all your skills, isn't it?
Yes.
You did a really nice job. Especially the setting up of the heart.
Yeah, we're learning.
He's on the Sankirtan and bringing people books. So any books that you want, please, they're in the reception. Especially if there's any that you can pass on as Christmas presents. Pass on to those who don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. Certainly I did today. There was a gentleman today. He says, certainly be amongst some of the different Bhagavad Gitas, so we can give them a preferential rate, just to so that it encourages them in their spiritual life. And so if you want to make any presents at this time of Christmas, it's a good idea. So far, they really like, they do it. Oh, they do it because Dad is all grand. Actually, my grandchildren, they call me Granddad Krishna, which is a bit of a sort of term of affection. They say Krishna is a touch. My daughter encourages them to say that. So, but that's how they know it. Granddad Krishna. Because they have other granddads as well. So it's interesting. It's a life full of they say life is a teacher, isn't it? It teaches us so much as we go through. When we're young people, we have a certain experience in life. Just to, they're like different lives, different stages of our lives. And I look back, I have different lifetimes that I've been going through. And then certainly this is the different time where I have to let other people serve me, other than me serve them. And our Prabhupada in the end is devotees. They were serving him as best they could. But the one thing he had was his potency. His potency he wanted to share right into his last days. And if you ever get a chance, there was a very poignant video. It's called Final Lesson. And it will touch your heart when you see this wonderful person. He's brought to us, he's brought us all these schools, Bhaktivedanta. And this was channeled through Dharma for those who knew Sri. Great souls. They're acharyas in their own right. And I will be here if I remember Sri Dharma for me. And I now live in a place where he used to be. So it's a place of pilgrimage. I'm very fortunate to be here in this old age. And so do what you can. Do it now, they say. But do it for me, Krishna says. So have a nice program. It's about 5 or 6 minutes to come. Okay. Have a nice evening. You can will me down just to the cushion. I'll release the brakes. Just go down there in front of the cushion. So just push. Yeah, just push me down. And turn me to face this way. Thank you very much. And now we'll put the handbrakes on. Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Yeah.
श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय, श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, श्री गौरानिताई की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। की बजय जय गौरचंद्रे आरती का शोभा वसंत